Nice. Hello, everybody.
Hello, Pratik. Can you please unmute everyone? Danny, Jackson?
And before you start to ask them to unmute, you can start recording and live streaming. So that you have it nicely, first recording, then live streaming, then inviting.
Yes, Pratik. I got it.
And after we start meditation, please do not take anyone to a breakout room, because it shows us something on the screen and that's disturbing. We don't want that.
Yes, Pratik.
So you take people to the breakout room only before we start our meditation.
Yes. Everyone, can you please unmute? Can you put your hand at your chest, please? Kiara. Now everyone, please say, hello, Venerable Sir.
Hello, Venerable Sir.
Nice. Hello, everybody.
Hello, Venerable Sir.
Hello.
So today I would like to start, I would like to make a little improvement in the way how we meditate, or rather in the way how I am showing you my meditation. So let me see. All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, Bante.
You can hear me? Okay. Now can you hear me well?
Yes, Bante.
What about now? Can you hear me well?
Yes, very clearly, Bante.
You can hear me very well? Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
It's not easy. Okay, so let's see if we can do that. All right, so you still can hear me well?
Yes, Yes, Svante, very well, Devante.
Okay, that's good. So let's sit in a comfortable meditation posture. Make sure your back is erect, side cast down. And we can make the first determination in our minds voicelessly. The clock. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. And with that determination, we can gently, lovingly notice the flat piece of flesh at the top of the head. We allow it to be heavy. We continue to the forehead, eyes, nose, lips, chin, cheeks, ears, back of the head. We allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the head to be heavy and changing. We continue to the neck, shoulders, arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, fingers, tips of fingers, chest, abdomen, back. We allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the upper part of the body to be heavy and changing. We continue to the buttocks, thighs, knees, calves, heels, soles, toes, tips of toes. We allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the body to be heavy and changing. And we allow all of the body parts to be changing. Now, as we give the body the freedom to be the way it is, we ourselves achieve freedom from worry about the body. Let's enjoy this freedom. Let's enjoy this peace. Now let's share our peace with other living beings. In our minds, voicelessly, we will allow. We don't force, we don't expect. We just allow all beings to enjoy at least as much peace as we have now. So we can allow by these words. We don't make any sound, we say them in our mind. May all beings, including me, be in peace. May all beings, including me, be in peace. Now, because the time for this sitting is finished, let's make the last determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. And with that determination, we can slowly, mindfully change the way of our sitting. It seems there is again a group opening or something happening, so I gotta pop up on the screen throughout the time. So it's better if you can always resolve groups, before we start meeting. Before you invite them to raise their hands, to put their hands together, you can, before we start meditating, that's enough. If you invite if you get all people before we start meditation, you put them to groups, and then only after we finish our meditation, you take them back. That's so much better. Otherwise, we always have pop-ups, and then it's in the recording, so the parents then cannot see their children, they see your pop-up of group. Okay, so now let's take one more minute without moving at all. We will be watching the mind. So we are curious, we want to see, is there any feeling such as pleasant feeling or unpleasant feeling, or neither pleasant nor unpleasant feeling? Or is there any perception distinguishing, recognizing? Do you recognize heat or cold or rubbing or itchy? Or are there any intentions? You want to stand up, you want to walk, you want to jump, you want to run? You watch all that in the mind as we don't move at all. Very well. So, everybody, let's go back. Let's go to our cameras, to our devices. Come closer. And I will ask you our first big question. How many times did you meditate last week? We're still waiting for many of you, so please come closer to your device. Device means iPad, iPod, iPhone, laptop, computer, tablet, whatever it is where you are watching our meeting today. So come close and answer. We're still waiting for 5 of you. Now 4. Okay, that's pretty good. So we have almost exactly half of you meditated every single day. I think that's pretty nice. And then many of you also meditated 5 to 6 days. So then there is the crushed minority. There is the crushed minority of those who did not meditate at least 5 days a week. That's pretty good. Seems like I have some problem with the... I see. I'm having speed problems. So try to resolve this. Just a moment. All right. So let's look at the second question. When did you do your homework? Everybody come to your device. Everybody answer right now. We're all waiting for you. Okay, that's good. So exactly half of you did the homework on the very day or the next day after it was assigned. I think that's a big success. And then 7 out of you did 3 days later. So again, the minority of those who did it late is crushed. Okay? Do you want to be crushed next week also? Those who are crushed this time. Don't do that. Okay? So don't be the crushed minority and meditate every day. And do your homework the same day or the next day when it's assigned. It's much better. So now let's move on to our recitation. And from today onwards, we will not be looking at the text until I will teach you the Burmese pronunciation. So I think now you already know pretty well. So we will now be reciting without the paper. So I would like to ask everybody to unmute.
Mở nắp sai là chuyện thì hết áp bắt ra là không có mặt tại Việt Nam.
Okay. So I'm still waiting for you. Whether you will unmute, I think there are still people. I see there are still people who do not unmute, like Bennett and Sư, Huy, Cô, Nguyen. Oh, Bennett usually provides feedback, right? But let's try. Let's see.
Có chuối à?
Yes, as well. So your together at the chest.
The internet is not good on your side. Or...
Keep your hands together at the chest by touching all of your 5 fingers and keeping that at the chest. That's anyone else doesn't know how to keep your hands at the chest? Nice. So let's start. Yamaham vadami tan vadekha. Tisanena saha. Panchasila dhamman yajami. Silang deta me bhante. Anukampam upadaya. Dutiyampi aham bhante. Tisaranena saha. Panchasilang dhamman yajami. Anugraham katva. Deta me bhante. Anukampam upadaya. Tatiyampi aham bhante. Tisaranena saha. Panchasilang dhamman yajami. Anugraham katva. Silang deta me bhante. Anukampam upadaya. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Sambuddhassa.
Buddhang saranang gacchami, dhammang saranang gacchami, sanghang saranang gacchami.
Saranam gacchami, saranam gacchami, gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Titiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyam saranam gacchami, yambang saranam gacchami, dutiyam saranam gacchami,
Saranagamana paripurnam.
Ama pade.
Pana. Okay, so now first I will ask you, what is the first precept? So I wanted to ask Kiara, what is the first precept?
I can't remember.
So you try. What is the first precept? Do you know any of the 5 precepts? Did you ever take 5 precepts with us? Kiara, did you ever take 5 precepts from me? Did I ever give you 5 precepts?
I think.
You think so?
I think I have.
So what could be the meaning of the 5 precepts? Why would you take them? Why do you take 5 precepts?
I took the 5 precepts because
I'm listening. You don't know. You don't know. So the purpose of taking 5 precepts is to become a good person and to become a happy person. So could that be the reason why would you like to take the 5 precepts?
Yeah.
So what is the reason that you're going to take 5 precepts?
I'm going to take the 5 precepts to become a good person.
Anything else? Five precepts help you to be happy and to make people around you happy. Could those also be reasons why would you take 5 precepts? Okay, so what are the reasons that you would take 5 precepts?
The reasons I would take the 5 precepts is to have a
So if any of the reasons that I already told you are good for you, can you just repeat them?
Okay. So is to have a to be a good person and have the people around you to be happy, and to have
And to be happy yourself. Okay. So first of all, what do you think would be good not to do so that you're happy and others are happy? What would be like the number one thing that nobody should do so that we are happy?
steal.
Yeah, well, stealing is pretty bad. Is there anything else?
I don't really know something to think of.
Okay, so everybody who thinks you know what is the first precept, please raise your Zoom hand. Why is Robert called Alex? Robert needs to be called Robert. Anyone else? Oh, that's not very good. That's not very good. Everybody needs to know what is the first precept. Okay, so who will I ask? Let me see. I want to ask those who don't know. Honey, what is the first precept?
To not kill.
Can you talk louder?
To not kill.
So why didn't you raise your hand?
Because I thought that was the wrong one.
You thought it was the wrong one, and it was actually the correct one. Okay, so the organizers, please can remove all of the hands. I will be reciting the first precept. Everybody, please keep your hands together at the chest. Panati pata veramani sikkha padang samadhiyami. Lucas, what is the second precept? Lucas, what is the second precept? Unmute yourself and tell me something.
No stealing.
That's right. Everybody keep your hands together at the chest. Adinna dana veramani sikkha padang samadhiyami. Good. Akari, what is the third precept? Unmute yourself and tell me something. Akari. Akari, you need to first unmute yourself. Akari, yes, correct. And now tell me something. What is the third precept? I cannot hear you. Can you come closer to your camera and tell me hello or something?
Hello.
Yes, okay, that's better. So what is the third precept?
No smoking.
Oh, I cannot hear you well. Can you come closer?
Don't drink alcohol. You might drink DPN microphone.
Don't drink alcohol.
No, not that one. Try once more.
I know what that one is.
Don't like married people. Married person.
Don't like married people.
Don't let many people. That's so interesting. How do you imagine? Can you explain to me what that means?
If someone is in love, do not fall in love with them.
That's right. So you can call it. How will we call it? Don't destroy others' relationships. Okay, that's pretty good. It's also called sexual misconduct, but that's a little difficult to pronounce and to remember. But you can remember it as do not destroy others' relationships. Okay. Akari, can you tell me what is the third precept?
Don't destroy others' relationship.
Perfect. Everybody, please keep your hands together at the chest. Kame sumichhachara veramani sikkha padang samadhiyami. Vô nhật huy. Are you here with us?
Yes.
Okay. Can you recite the third precept? Kame sumichhachara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Okay. Sumichhachara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Very well. And will you tell me also what is the fourth precept?
Adinana Banatiwata Kamaso wait. Adinadana Banatiwata Kamaso Chajara and then Musawada
So what is it in English?
Musawada Waramana Isika Barang Samadiyama.
And would you know it in English?
It means we don't need we don't tell lie.
That's right. So everybody can keep their hands together at the chest and you can repeat after me. Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Okay, so May, do you know what's the fifth precept? What is it? Unmute yourself and tell me.
You cannot caca in your pants.
May, I'm listening to you. What is the fifth precept?
My brothers are interrupting me.
Can't do the gritty.
So May, I'm listening to you. What is the fifth precept?
Brothers interrupting me.
Doesn't matter. What is the fifth precept? Do you know?
Do the gritty funny.
So you should know faster.
Oh.
What is it? Okay, May, you're taking too long time. So I will ask somebody else. So I want to know from Baolam. Baolam, can you tell me what is the fifth precept?
I think it's don't drink alcohol and drugs.
That's perfect. Don't drink alcohol, don't take drugs. So you can keep your hands together at the chest and repeat after me. Sura meraya majjapama dattana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Tisaranena saddhing panchasilang dhammang sadhukang surakkitang katva appamadena sampadetha. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be successful in everything you do. Yes. After I wish you to be happy, healthy, successful, you can say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let's try it again. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be successful in everything you do. Okay, so who of you knows what is actually sadhu, what it means? If you know it, please raise your hand. Not that many people, right? So sadhu means well said or well done. Okay? If you want to say very well or well said or well done, then you would say sadhu. Okay? And usually we say it 3 times. Nice. Thank you very much. So now let's move on to the homework. I'll let you know who will be reading their homework today. We are having some wild discussion here in the chat box. So we'll be reading their homework. I'm waiting for the list.
Did you receive my message, Devante?
No, I didn't receive it. Or I don't see it.
Yes, I will say it.
Now, you may like to know that when we are taking the 5 precepts, I'm not reading anything at all. I know it by heart, okay? Somebody here thinks that I'm reading fast. Not at all. It's just that I know it.
Thế khi tụi con quen được cái bài
Okay, so I still do not see the list of people who will read their homework.
cái homework.
So
Maybe
we
you're
have
sending it to somebody privately.
Nhưng mà tụi con sẽ không có nói về cái đó.
can you see
There you
me,
go.
please?
So I would like to ask Rere, Ariel, and Mo to raise their hand. Nice. So let's start with Rere. Please read your homework. We don't have much time because we were
Vẫn read
today
mà
making
nãy thầy
a
nói
lot
là
of improvements and resolving problems.
it.
So always first read the name of the chapter, you know, that you read, and then read for us your sentence.
Spaghetti wiggle relaxation.
Spaghetti legal relaxation. Okay. What is it?
When you're all done shaking your spaghetti arm, lift it high and drop it on the bed.
Nice. Thank you. What about Mo?
Good news and bad news. Hard news that things that seem like good news were not always good, and things that seem like bad news were not always bad.
Nice. Thank you very much. Excellent sentence. And that was Mo, right? So did we hear? We were listening to Ariel. So now Mo, please. So that was Mo. So Ariel and Mo have the same sentence? Okay, no, I see. Yeah, it's the same topic. So let me listen to Ariel, please.
If I were able-bodied, then I would be leaving war, and I might have never returned.
But you did not read the name of the chapter. Can you do it again and you read first the name of the chapter? Ariel, can you please read your note again? But you will start reading your the name of the chapter. Do you know what's the name of the chapter?
I forgot.
No, it's written there in your note. Do you see the screen? Do you see it? It's written there. I can see it. What is it?
Good news, bad news.
That's right. So can you please start reading the chapter name and then you read the sentence.
Good news, bad news. If I were able-bodied, then I would be leaving for war, and I might have never returned.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Great. So now let's move on to reciting the Okasa. So we have moved, we were talking about Okasa, right? Last week. Did I explain to you the story of the king of gods and the war in the heavens? Did I explain it to you or not?
There was a war in heavens?
So I didn't explain it to you. Thank you. So there is still a war in the heaven, according to Buddhism. Yeah, there is a war. Because you know what? Now we have many, many heavens. We have like 6 heavens, and then we have 20 Brahma worlds. So we have quite a few heavens. And so the lowest heaven is the heaven of the 4 great kings. So we believe that there are dragons, that there are ogres, like Shrek is an ogre. So we believe that there are ogres, there are heavenly birds, and then there are treasure keepers. So 4 different beings. So that's in the lowest heaven. Okay, then above this heaven, I call it the true gods. Okay, so in the lowest heaven, it's not really true, like snakes are animals, right? So they're not really true gods. And birds are also animals, and ogres, they look like large monkeys. So they have long hair all over their body and big teeth, and they like to eat human and so on. So they're not really, godlike. And then treasure keepers is a little special topic. So these are not truly, godlike beings. Above them, there is a heaven, and there are true gods. Okay, and true gods, they always follow 5 precepts. They never kill, never steal, never destroy others' relationships, never tell lies, and never drink alcohol or take drugs. So these true gods, they are now in war because they have a problem. Now, in the past, in this heaven, there were a little bit like, let's call them the ugly gods. All right. So there were ugly gods living in that heaven, in the heaven of 33. But at that time, there were no 33. There were 33 friends in the human world. So there was a gentleman called Magha. His name was Magha, and he had 32 friends. And they thought, you know what, let's go and build some roads. Let's go and build some houses for the people to rest when they travel long distances. So they built roads, they built bridges, they built houses, and they made them as beautiful as they could. And then they died. And this gentleman who was leading his 32 friends, he was born as he together with his 32 gentlemen, and together with their wives and other people, who were helping them in building the roads and bridges and houses, they were born in that heaven of 33. And that's why it's called heaven of 33, because these 33 friends were born in the heaven of 33. How was it born before? How was the heaven called before these 33 were born in the heaven of 33? I don't know. Probably it was also called heaven of 33. So why is it called heaven of 33 if the 33 are not there yet? I don't know. I don't know the answer. Anyway, we call it the heaven of 33, regardless whether the 33 are there or not. So these 33, they were born there, and there was a problem because there were some other gods already. And these ugly gods, they were actually very friendly. They came to these true gods, these new true gods, the 33 friends became true gods. And so these ugly gods, they came up to the 33 and they said, you know what, we will give you half of our kingdom. Imagine that you would come to your friend's house and your friend would say, hi, I'll give you half of my house. It's yours. It's pretty good, right? I think that's not bad at all. So these ugly gods, they gave half of the heaven to the 33 friends. But something didn't went right, and it's not really clear to me what happened. These 33 friends, they said, okay, so let's celebrate that. They invited the ugly gods and they made them drunk. So the ugly gods got drunk. When the ugly gods got drunk, these true gods, they took those drunk gods by their legs and threw them away from the heaven. Now that heaven is believed to be on a high mountain, 840,000 miles high mountain. Well, that's certainly not on this planet, because if you go 100 miles up, you happen to get into space. So it will have to be somewhere else. Anyway, so these ugly gods, they were falling 840,000 miles down. But because in their past lives, they did many good actions, when they fell down at the foot of the hill, a new heaven-like place appeared for them by the power of their good actions that they did in their past life. But they were not happy with that. They wanted to go back to the heaven. So since then, these ugly gods are waging war. They're waging war with the 33. But the 33 is just the leaders of that heaven. After these 33 friends threw away the ugly gods, the remaining gods in the heaven of 33 were happy and they were rejoicing. So it seems to me, but I'm not sure, that maybe these ugly gods were some like oppressive government or some like bad government. And so these new gods, they just threw these ugly gods away. And that's why the remaining gods were so happy that the ugly gods are gone. Anyway, that's the way how we believe it. So there's a war among the gods. And it's still happening. This will always happen until the ugly gods get place in their heaven of 33, and they will never get it. So it will always happen. At least until the time when the world is destroyed. We believe that the world gets destroyed each and every time. So after the world gets destroyed, a new world appears. And then in the new world, of course, you will get the story repeated. So we always call it the heaven of 33 because it belongs to the 33, even before they can come there, right? But when they come there, well, then of course it is the heaven of 33 because the 33 friends are there. Okay, so it's very important for you to know heaven of 33. That's why I'm saying it so many times. You need to remember it. Okay, after 20 years, if somebody comes and wakes you up at 1 a.m. and says, what is the name of the second heaven? You immediately need to say the heaven of 33. Okay, you need to remember that. The heaven of 33. So it's a very important heaven because the chief of these 33 friends, who was called Magha as a human, but now he's called Sakka. Sakka as a god is the king of them all. The god Sakka is a very important god in India. Probably for all Hindus and for all Buddhists, the king Sakka is very important god. And this king Sakka, he can support you and he can give you whatever you want. And he pays respect to you. Yeah. If you follow the precepts. Time and again, this King Sakka asks his charioteer. Do you know what's a charioteer? It's like a car driver, but old style car driver. So he asks his car driver, let's go for a trip. They go for a trip and they see from the heaven us, the humans. And then the king of gods, Sakka, the king of billions and billions of gods who all worship Sakka. He pays respects. He pays his respects to the humans. And then the car driver asks, oh, king of gods, you're the king of gods. You're the most powerful of all. Why would you pay respect to humans? And he says, I pay respect to humans who follow the 5 precepts, who do not kill, who do not steal, who do not destroy others' relationships, who don't tell lies, who don't drink alcohol. So how is that useful for you that somebody is paying respects to you? Because the king of gods, Sakka, is very happy about you. And when he's very happy about you, he may support you in that what you need. So then if you need something or if you want something, you can ask, dear gods, I want this and that. May I have it soon? Sometimes I do it too. Sometimes if I want something, I say, oh gods, I want this, I want that. And then I have it soon. Yes. Not just now, but also long ago, already when I was 18 years old. And I was just starting to meditate. I was still a lay person. I was a young man, just like you. And sometimes I wanted something and I would say, oh gods, I need this. And then they would do it for me. Sometimes it's a little scary, because whatever I want will happen. Okay, so if you follow all the precepts, that's pretty good for you. And now, the point is that I want to teach you about what are the 4 worlds, because you will need that to understand the the Okasa recitation. So the 4 worlds are the lowest 4 worlds. They're the worlds of suffering. We also call them worlds of woe. Not wow, woe. W-O-E. Woe. What is that? That's not a name for a new game, not at all. Woe means suffering. It means pain. It means crying. It means loss. It means trouble. And these worlds are characterized by woe. That's because there is woe everywhere. It's a huge problem. What are these 4 worlds? The world of hell, the world of animals, the world of ghosts, and this world of the ugly gods who were kicked out of their heaven. So more importantly, these 3 worlds: hell, animal realm, and the ghosts. What kind of suffering is there? What kind of woe is there in the hells? Well, there's a lot of things to talk about hells, but let's simplify. Many beings in hells, they are running and running in fire. So wherever they are, there's a blazing hot floor over which they're running and running, and there's fire throughout the place, and they experience that fire, and it's extremely hot. And it's not just for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 1 hour or 1 day or 2 days or 10 days or 100 days. No, it's for years. Always like that. Pain and pain and pain. Some are boiled. They're thrown in a kind of water, and then they're boiled in that water. But because they did very bad things in their past life, they have to be boiled in that water again and again and again. Their body, gets boiled, and then it reappears again by the power of their bad actions, so that they experience the pain again and again and again. That's why it's called hell, because it's hell. All right? When people say in this world, in the human world, that something is hell, they're ridiculous. They're funny, because there's no suffering in this human realm that could be comparable to the suffering in the hell. The Buddha one time took a stone in his hand and he said, "Monks, where is more stone? In my hand or in the Himalaya mountains?" Himalaya mountains are huge, huge mountains, miles and miles, far, far. They're spreading over the land of many, many, many miles, maybe hundreds of miles, hundreds of square miles. So there's a lot of stone, and just taking one stone in your hand definitely is not much. So the Buddha asks, where is more stone? In my hand, that one stone that I'm holding, or that stone, that amount of stones in the Himalaya mountains? Well, the mountains themselves are the stones. So the monks say, "Oh, venerable sir, in your hand there is just one stone. But in the Himalaya mountains, there's uncountable amount of stone." And the Buddha says, just like that, in this human world, there's a little bit of suffering. But in the hell, there is so much of suffering. Okay? So this is hell. That's why we call it the world of woe, because it is the world of woe. Then we have world of animals. Now, some of you maybe have a dog or cat at home. Well, they're pretty lucky. But most of animals are waiting to be eaten. They're waiting to be eaten. Okay, you're born and you're just waiting until something kills you or something eats you while you're still alive. So that's the animal world. You don't want that. An animal cannot tell anyone, "Hey, I'm ill," or hey, I have this pain or that pain, or "I'm hungry." Nobody cares. In the animal realm, nobody cares. And if you are ill, then you're the first to be killed. If you're weak, you're the first to be killed. Animal realm is not something you want to visit as an animal.
Why do some people want to eat an animal that is ill?
That's because the animal is lucky. You know, if the animal is lucky, if the animal in the previous life did many, many bad deeds so that it is an animal, and it also did some good deeds, well, then it is born as an animal, and also it gets some support. Okay, but mostly animals suffer so much.
And also in hell, you are dead, right?
In hell, you are dead and you get life again very soon, because you need to suffer for your bad actions. You suffer again and again. So you die, you are born again so that you can be killed. And then you appear again and again you are killed. Again, you appear, again you are killed. For example, butchers. Butchers, do you know how butchers suffer after they die? Butchers are born in a very special hell. The butcher is laid down on a, you know, what's a butcher? Butcher is the person who kills the animals and then sells the meat. So that's a butcher. So butcher is laid down on a flat bed, which is made of steel, and the steel is blazing hot. And then around there are hell workers, you know, there are employees in the hell. And they're actually ogres. They're from the ogre world. I already told you about the ogre world, so now you know. It's from the world of the 4 great kings, right below the world of the 33. So these hell workers, they cut off the flesh of the butcher. They cut off his hands, they cut off his legs, they cut off his head, and then immediately he becomes together as one body again. So they cut him again, and then again he becomes one body, and again they cut him, and again he becomes one body, like that. So they're cutting and he dies, cutting, die, cutting, die, like that, again and again and again and again. Not for 5 minutes, not for 10 minutes, not for 1 day or 100 days, no, for hundreds of thousands of years. It's like forever. It's not forever, but it is like forever. Well, imagine that I would tell you that you will now suffer pain for 10 years. You would say, oh, that is forever. But hell is not for 10 years. It is not for 100 years. It is for thousands and thousands of years, for hundreds of thousands of years. So it's not just about the pain, you know, but it's also about that you never know when it ends. It seems like it's endless. And you suffer that for 50 years, for 100 years, and then again and more, and there's no end to that. Yes, Nathan?
I thought when you are in hell, you keep dying.
Yeah, you die and then again you get a new life. I've just explained it. Is it clear?
Oh, I thought when you were dead, then you were dead again. I thought about that.
No, you are dead and then you get life immediately again by the power of your past bad actions. So you get again life in the hell, but it's very fast, you know. So it seems like you're immortal. You are immortal. You cannot be killed so that you can experience pain more and more and more. Is it clear? So being immortal is not it if it is immortal in hell. Yes. So that's hell and morale. Now, what I will explain to you what are ghosts like, because I already explained what are the ugly gods, right? I think you understand a little. Now we need to explain today these 4 worlds so that we can move on in the recitation of Okasa. So I have explained the hell a little bit, very little. There's so much to talk about hell, but I just brushed it up. Second is the world of animals. I already explained a little. Now let's move on to the world of ghosts. We already have finished the world of the ugly gods, so we just need to look at the world of ghosts. So the world of ghosts. In the world of ghosts, the ghosts have a problem. They have nothing. Ghosts usually don't have clothes. They have no skin. More importantly, they have nothing to eat. They have no place to stay, no home, not at all, just running here and there outside. And it's very cold to them. And there is no one who cares? No one. Totally alone. So that's a ghost world, not a nice world. So we call these 4 worlds the worlds of suffering. And these worlds of suffering, we don't want to go there. We can visit there by psychic powers as humans. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But we don't want to be born there. All right, we don't want to have life there. And therefore, Burmese people recite this Okasa recitation. And in this Okasa recitation, they pay respect to the Buddha and to the Buddha's teachings, Dhamma, and to the community of monks, Sangha. And they wish that by the power of paying respect to the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, they will not be born in these 4 worlds. So that's why they say, by the power of respecting the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, may I not be born in the 4 worlds. So now I will be answering your questions, and we will then continue next week. So let's look at your questions. Alex, what can I do for you?
Yeah. So you said like the heavens are like very high up, but like what like kind of planet would it be on? Because if it was just like a mountain floating in space, there would be like no oxygen.
Now, it seems, I don't know, because I still didn't get a satisfactory explanation. I would have to get some psychic powers to visit those places, and then I could come and tell you. So far, not ready yet. So my understanding is that there is a portal which you can create yourself by psychic powers, and you enter through that portal and you get to the world where you want. So it's not really in heaven. It's not located. You know what I mean? It's not located. So you need to go through portal to enter that world. You cannot say, here is this mountain, then here is this planet, there is that planet. You cannot show them on one map. You would have to have 2 maps, and they are separated by that portal. Sorry?
You mean like dimensions, basically?
Dimensions is a fancy word today, but I don't want to use it because then we look like people who don't know anything about science. So let's not call it dimensions. Let's call it different worlds. Okay, and you can move through these worlds, through these portals, just like you can, because we have a story about a tree god, because we believe in many tree gods, and these are little gods of little power who live in trees. If you cut a tree, then they lose their palace in the tree. They do not live there like animals. You know, for them the tree is like a portal to their world, to their palace. But their palace is actually located in the tree. It is invisible, but it is much bigger. Does that mean that the god, therefore, is small in that tree, so that, you know, he feels like the palace is big in that tree? I don't know. But the palace is in the tree. It's not possible to see it, and only the god can experience it. But we have a story when the god in his previous life fell in love as a human, fell in love with a lady. Then he died. He was born as the tree god, and he still was in love with that lady. So he visited that human lady as a god, and he took that human lady into that tree palace. And she was there for some time. And then, Zhangwu, Kanfung, what are you doing? Are you okay?
It's so weird. I make the face.
I see, but keep it healthy, okay? Keep it healthy. Keeping your mouth too much open for a long time is actually very dangerous. So keep it healthy. So now this god, he took this lady to the tree, and the lady enjoyed in the tree. But after about 7 days, she missed her parents, you know, in the human world. So she said, "Please take me back." So she returned to the human world. So it's not like that you die to be born in the tree, not at all. You can just go there if the tree god takes you there, if you want. And so it seems that there's like a portal into the world. But where do you get that mountain? It's a little hard to say. We believe that there is this huge mountain on top of which there are these heavens, and around the mountain there are the human worlds. There are 4 human worlds. We call them islands because the mountain is in the middle of a huge ocean, or we call them 4 oceans. And then there are 4 islands, and each island has one human species there, one human race. One human race is us. It's in the south. That human race has very variable lifespan. So sometimes our lifespan is 10 years, sometimes 100 years, sometimes 1,000 years, sometimes 400,000 years. That's in this world. Now, these days, our lifespan is 100 years, but there are times when our lifespan will be 400,000 years in the future, and it was so also in the past. It's just that the scientists cannot find out. Why they can't find out, I don't know. So then this is just one of the 4 islands. We have 3 more islands. Well, the other island, the one that's on the north, has people and they have 1,000 years long lifespan right now, or so it seems. And then there is another world of humans to the east. They have 500 years lifespan. And then another island, they have 250 years lifespan. That means after 250 years, they die. Like in our world now, we die after 100 years. There are times that in this particular world, like in Vietnam or in the US and so on, people live 400,000 years. But not yet. You will have to wait for that some time. Okay, probably a long time. Fine. So there is this human world and this world of the mountain. So where it is, it's hard to say, but we have it as islands and not as planets. So our world should actually look like a planet, right? Not like an island. So it's very hard to understand that. Some people believe that the mountain Mare is the black hole, in the galaxy. But there is another problem, that a sun and moon run around all of this world every day. But there is no sun and moon who run around the galaxy. No sun or moon run around the galaxy. No. So it probably is not the galaxy. Okay, so it's a little trouble, to explain that, Alex. But I believe that there is some explanation, because many people are meeting gods, and monks are meeting gods. Gods come, to learn Dhamma, to learn Buddha's teachings from these monks. And other people, sometimes when they come at night, they can see these lights and these beings who are coming from heaven. So there definitely are heavens, there definitely are gods. It's just that I'm not able to explain how to get there, by an airplane or by a train. But so far it seems that through a psychic power, you can create a portal, and that portal can take you there. Is it clear now, Alex?
Yes, thank you, Venerable Sir. I also have one more question.
Yes, please.
If the world were to end and you go to a different world because that world ended, would everything be the same, same languages, same continents?
So when the world ends, according to our scriptures, it's a little more complicated. So Tutam can remember that as a question for next time, and I will explain it. Otherwise, we will stay here, so long. We have 1 more minute for this class.
Yes, okay.
Okay. Or remember it from me, Alex, and next week, please ask. Okay. Because I would like to tell it to you everything in detail, but unfortunately our class doesn't allow that. Tin Min.
Bante, Venerable Sir, can I ask you?
Please come closer to the
Now,
camera.
like you said,
Please come closer to the camera so that I can hear you well. As close as you can.
Can I ask you in the hell that you said that some people they boil? Well, why did? And
Please come as close. You see how close I am to the camera? Can you come close like that?
What
And
can
it
you
seems
say
that the
that?
mic, it seems your headphones should have a mic, right? But the mic apparently is not working. You would probably have to switch your microphone in Zoom. So if you go to Zoom settings, you maybe can switch microphones so that the microphone of your headphones is used. Because I think now it's used from something else. Have you found settings?
Now can you hear well?
Yes, I can hear very well.
I asked you in the hell that you said some people they got boiled by their mistake.
Yep.
Well, what did they do wrong? Why don't they have their butt punished on the fire? But they do something wrong to got boiled.
Yep. Killed, stole, destroyed somebody's relationship by having sex, told a lie, or drank alcohol or took drugs.
And you said that in the animal that we what do we do mistakes to be an animal?
The same thing. It depends on how serious it is and how often do you do that, and how angry or how greedy you are during breaking these 5 things. So different people suffer a different way for these 5 things.
And the last one is you said in hell when we do something wrong, like we got something wrong and then they kill us, then we're alive again and again like that.
Yeah.
Why do we need to try again and again to 1,000 of billions time?
You're not trying. It happens to you automatically by the power of the bad actions you did in the past.
Thanks.
Okay. Edward?
I have 3 simple questions.
Okay, let's see if they're simple.
Simple and kind of not simple at the same time.
I am
What is-
already presuming that.
What is the highest heaven that you could ever get? What is the highest heaven?
That's the highest, that's the heaven of neither perception nor non-perception. But if you want me to explain the heavens, we will have to take at least 1 hour for explanation.
And second question, the butcher one, the butcher, no, I don't think they should get that because they're doing it for us, so we can eat. Like they're doing it for us so we can eat. So it's doing a good thing, but a bad thing. So it's repaying that bad thing with a good thing. So doesn't that just even it out?
The problem is that this is a wrong view. It's a wrong attitude. It's a wrong way. Now, for example, let's say that you want to go to school. Now you feel like the way to go to school is that you will beat your head over the ground, and then the school will come close to you so that you don't have to go there. You will beat your head over the ground, beat and beat and beat and beat. Will you get to the school? No.
No.
You will die. You see, it's a wrong way. It doesn't work. In the same way, the butcher thinks that he will be helping living beings. He thinks he will be helping himself in the first place because he needs money for his family, to give money to his wife, to his children, to pay the rent or to pay the electricity and water and so on. He needs that. And so he's killing animals. But killing animals results in being born in hell. It's like when you feel like, okay, so I will be happy, I will go to school, and then you beat your head over the ground. You will not approach the school. You will not make it to school. In the same way, the butcher will not achieve the happiness. He will achieve what? Suffering. He will be born in hell. Yes, for the time being, for a few years, for 50 years, for 100 years, he may be happy. He may be even rich. Some butchers are rich. You know, in Myanmar, for example, you get quite a lot of money if you're a butcher. But that's not really happiness. You know, it's like when you start to beat your head over the road, you sit down on the floor and you feel, oh, this is so comfortable. I'm actually sitting on the floor. I don't have to even stand or walk. That's such a nonsense, isn't it? You're sitting on the floor, which is comfortable, but wait, you're beating your head over the floor, over the ground. So it doesn't help you that you're sitting on the floor. In the same way, it doesn't help the butcher that for one life he can support his family, if in the end he ends up in the hell for hundreds of thousands of years. You see? Okay. So killing the animals is a wrong way. It's a wrong way. The butcher could instead start to plant trees and plant fruit, and then he could sell the fruit and he could become rich. That is also, that's a good way.
Or he could just buy the meat from a store and then sell it.
And then sell it again. But that actually is not really it, you know, because he's supporting another person in killing the animals. We don't want to support another person in killing. But then
the butcher will not be a butcher anymore. He'll just be a farmer.
And therefore he will not be born in hell.
So basically, there no more butchers should never exist ever again.
That's right. No butcher should ever exist. No killing in the world should ever happen.
And also, what's the middle between heaven and like the hells? What's the middle in it? What's really the middle, like part of it?
Welcome to the human world. That's the middle.
Okay. I knew it would be that.
Okay, Bennett. Bennett, I'm listening to you. What can I do for you? Today it will be a long class. Get ready for it. So those who want to go to sleep, hopefully have already gone because we are already now late. But I want to answer all of your questions. So Bennett, what is your question? At least a little, you know, but we can schedule some long-term question, some long-time question we can schedule for next time. But I want to answer your short questions.
When you mean like when you die when you get boiled in heaven, so you are born again and again, like you are responding.
You are like immortal. Do you know what's immortal? It means that you don't die. You don't die. So whatever the hell workers do to you, you just live and you suffer and suffer and suffer and suffer. And that's in hell, not in heaven. In heaven, you do not die. In heaven, you simply enjoy. And you enjoy and enjoy and enjoy and enjoy. You have their many friends, you have their large family, you have their gentlemen have there a lot of ladies have there a lot of friends, and they're dancing and singing and they're traveling here and there, and they have psychic powers. They can know each other's mind. They can make things from thin air. So you want some kind of food, you just make it by your power. You want to disappear and appear somewhere else. Yes, the gods, they have very great psychic powers. You never get ill. You enjoy in a swimming pool with ladies, and ladies enjoy with ladies and with gentlemen. and you have huge palaces there and a lot of freedom, and you can do whatever you want. And there's a lot of pleasure. It's so pleasant, you know, the food and the air and the clothes, all is so immensely beautiful. And it's also changing, you know, it's changing in the way that you want. Whatever you want, that's the way it happens. So it doesn't become boring. Maybe for somebody it becomes boring, hard to tell, but mostly gods enjoy being heavens and they don't want to lose it. Okay, Bennett? Is it clear?
Yeah.
Aulam?
Did you ever tell lies?
I know, I never tell lies.
Even when you're little?
Did I ever told lies? Yes, until I became a monk. Yes, sometimes I did tell a lie.
But if I tell lies, then what will I do?
If you tell a lie, then you need to find a friend who does not tell lies. You can tell me, or you can tell Tutam or Changvu, or you can tell who else is here? I don't know, the assistants. You need to find somebody who does not tell lies, okay? Who is very clear that they never tell lies.
Okay.
Doesn't mean that they never told lies. No, everybody makes mistakes. But after you find a friend who doesn't tell lies, you tell them, I told a lie. And your friend will tell you, will you be careful next time? And you will say, yes, I will be careful next time. Are you aware that this was wrong? Yes, I'm aware this was wrong. And then they will say, yes, very well. And since then, you should never tell lie. And since then, also other people can come and confess to you, because at that time you are pure. You are pure in your intention. You're not pure of telling lies in the past. No, you will suffer for that. All of us will suffer for all of our killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, and telling lies and drinking alcohol. We all will suffer for that. But we can decide not to do it anymore. Okay, so that we don't suffer more. Enough of suffering. We don't need to make more of that. Okay, so if anyone ever breaks these 5 rules, what they can do, the best thing to do, is to find somebody who does not break the 5 rules, who is pure, so-called pure. They're pure because they have made the determination, and they're pure since the moment they made the determination not to break those rules. And then you tell them, oh, dear friend, I broke a rule. I told a lie, or I killed an insect, or I stole something, or I drank alcohol. And they will say, are you aware that this is wrong? And you'll say, yes, I'm aware this was wrong. Will you be careful next time? Yes, I will be careful next time. Very well. You never confess to somebody who did it too. Okay, so you don't like confess telling lie to somebody who tells lies. No, you don't do that. You need to find somebody who doesn't tell lie, or somebody who already confessed. Do you know what's a confession? Do you know the word confess?
No.
Confess means that you tell it, that you tell the truth. If you told a lie and you find a friend and you tell them, hey, I told a lie, that is called confession. It means telling the truth, telling from your heart what was your mistake. Okay, that is called confession. So you need to find somebody who you can confess, and you confess only to the person who is pure. You will not tell from your heart that you have made a mistake to somebody who makes the mistake too, right? Doesn't make any sense. But you tell that you made a mistake to somebody who does not make mistake, because they will inspire you in not making mistake. All right. So you always need to find somebody who doesn't make the mistake. All right. So if you kill, steal, commit adultery, tell a lie, or drink alcohol, or take drugs anytime in your life, it is very important that you find somebody who doesn't do that and you confess them. and confess that. And for monks, it's the role. Monks always, whenever we break any of our small rules, and we have over 90 billion rules, we need to find somebody and we need to confess. We need to find somebody who did not break that rule. Then we confess. Okay?
Okay.
All right, Alex, second round.
Yeah, I was remembering one of my questions that I was asking that wasn't wrong. Let's say I go to hell. Would I meet any other people while suffering there?
Probably not. I have never heard of anyone who would go to hell and meet their friends from their past lives. I never heard that kind of story, you know, or anything of that. Usually in hell, you are left alone. In the ghost realm as well, in the animal realm as well. But if you become a god or as a human, you can have a lot of friends. Okay?
Thank you.
Franklin?
Is it okay to lie to someone only because you like them?
Only because what?
Only because you like them.
What does that mean? Can you give me an example? How would that look like?
I only have to know how to give an example from Myanmar.
Yeah, tell me in Burmese. No, I cannot hear you. You went off the microphone. Can you come closer? No, you are telling it to somewhere else. Can you just telling me just now as you are there? Can you just tell it to me so that I can hear you? Otherwise, I don't hear you. Yes. What you actually say is not actually the example that I'm searching for. You just asked the question in Burmese. So I want you to tell me an example of the words of the lie that you think could be okay. Can you give me the example, that lie itself? You're not telling me a lie, you're just telling me the example. You're explaining to me what you talk about. So can you tell me what is the example of the lie?
I can type it.
Excuse me?
I can type it though.
You can type it all. For example, like you don't know, you mean you want to say that you will type up the example?
Yeah.
Can you tell me?
I don't know.
You don't know an example. You need to think of an example if you want from me a solution. All right. Otherwise, it's not practical. Okay. So thank you everyone for coming. This is pretty good for today. It was a pleasure to see everyone. Now, as for homework, it is just the following two chapters. So let me tell you anyway. So next two chapters are the golden goose and pointing to the moon. All right, the golden goose and pointing to the moon. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be successful in everything you do.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Please, everyone, please unmute. Everyone, please unmute. Jackie, Winbow, Christine. Okay. Put a hand for the chest and say goodbye, Venerable Sir.
Goodbye, Venerable Sir. Goodbye, Venerable Sir.
Bye.
It's a cat. Wait.
Goodbye, everyone.
Hey yo. Okay, bye.